Hello guys, welcome to the next video tutorial on Java programming for beginners. In the last few videos, we have been seeing how we can use if statement, which are condition based statement in Java. Now in this video, we will see other kind of conditional statement that are called switch statement in Java. So whenever you have to make multiple condition checking, then you can use switch statement. You can use switch statement uh, in place of if else statement also, but generally we use switch statement where you have multiple expression to check. So let's take an example. For example, I have a data type called a score, which is integer and whose value is 90. So let's consider this is the score of some student. So in Java, let's first see how we can write switch statement. It's simple. You just need to write a keyword called switch, and then comes the round bracket which evaluates the expression, and then in curly braces you write some condition. So here comes your expression, and this expression can be following. So for example, this expression can be a byte, or can be a short value, or integer, or character value, right? So our value is integer, so we can write or evaluate this score value, and on the basis of this score value we can define some cases inside our switch condition. For example, case 90, and then comes this colon, and then you can execute your code. So we want to print, for example, system dot out dot print line, and in here we will print, for example, very good. This is on the basis of score. So if the student scores 90, we will print the message very good. And after this message will print, we just want to break out of this switch statement. So just write break, not this one but this one, and this semicolon. So in this way you can define multiple conditions inside your switch statement. Once again, I copied and pasted same statement, but I can define some other condition. For example, if it's 60 or if it's 40, then I will say the score is good, and if it's 40, the score is okay. And so based on the score, we are evaluating the score inside this switch statement. And if the score is 90, we will print this one, and we will break out of this switch statement. So what this break does is it breaks out of the switch statement. We will see when we run the example. And if this condition or this condition where score is 90 or 60 or 40, all these conditions are not met, then we will define a default condition which will catch all the other options other than the defined conditions, and this is done by the keyword default. Okay, and in this default we can define that, for example, this condition is not defined or the grade is not defined. For example, we can write the grades are not defined, something like this. Okay, and then we can break out of the loop, or not the loop but the statement break. Okay, so let's run the program and let's see what will be the output. I will just compile the program and run it, and it prints very good because we have defined integer whose value is 90, and this variable we are evaluating with our switch statement, and then your program or switch statement evaluates whether the case, so case becomes, if the score is 90, then it will execute this code whatever you write after this colon and before this break keyword. All the code whatever you write inside this will be executed. Okay, and whenever this break is called, it goes directly out of this switch statement. So this condition or this case is not checked, and this case is not checked, in this case is also not checked. So your switch statement waits for the condition to be true. For example, we just write 60, which is this case, and run the program. It prints good, right? Or we define some weird condition, for example 33, which is not defined in either of these cases, then the message is the grades are not defined. So your this code will be implemented. So this is like an if condition in switch statement, not else, not if, but the else condition in if statement, right? So whenever these conditions are not met, then the default condition is called, right? Now there are other ways of writing switch statement, or there are some properties of switch statement. For example, you can define case without the break statement like this. So if you define case where score is equal to 100 and you don't give here break keyword, let's see what happens. And in this case we will define score is equal to 100, and we will run the program, and it says very good. And why this is happening is, whenever you define something or some case without a break, it goes to the evaluate the case, it sees that score is equal to 100, which is okay, and immediately it goes to the next case where case is equal to or score is equal to 90, and it prints the next case statement, which is this one, and then immediately it sees that break is called, and then it breaks out of the switch statement. So whenever you want to evaluate multiple condition and you want to print or you want to execute a same code, you can define multiple conditions like this without a break keyword. For example 95, and you define 95 here also, then it will print very good. Okay, so it's evaluating 3 condition at a time, and if the score is 100 or 95 or 90, this statement will be true. Okay, in the same way you can define different case here also. For example, if score is 80 for example, or 60, and let's define score is equal to 80, then it will print good. Okay, so you can check multiple conditions without adding the switch or without adding the break keyword to any case. So in this way you can evaluate conditions using switch statement. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.